What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Links, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Not a great start to the evening. We'll see kind of how a couple of things transpire. I mean, Cleveland, they're somehow going a little bit nuts. I have a lot of plays, though, that showed up later on in the day here. Ended up on quite a few unders on the card as well, as you might know in the premium Discord, which, by the way, is all of $15. We have a great promo that I'll talk about here a little bit later that's going on as well. But 8 games here in the association for Thursday. BetMGM, you can sign up for them down below. Again, you want exposure to all the sports books because shopping for the best line is a huge part about how you are a profitable sports bettor or a losing sports bettor. It can be the difference on specific years because I don't know, why pay $15 for something when you could pay $10 for something? Well, for some reason, sports bettors can justify it. So just saying, you want to be getting as many sports books as possible so you can do that. We'll talk about them a little bit later here in the program, but I'm ready to get rocking. I know we all have holiday stuff coming up here, so let's just get to it, shall we? Producer Jacob, hi. I won't make you show up on the screen here today, but you're loved. The community loves you. The comment section loves you, especially. Careful. You're not trying to steal my thunder, are you? Producer Jacob, without further ado, let's get to the picks. Game numero uno. Jazz running it back here on a back-to-back. They got completely Sam Merrilled on Wednesday. Have you seen this guy's stat line? Sam Merrill had 26, 3, and 2. And they're still playing. They're just finishing up this game. Anyway, Utah, finals odds. Detroit, finals odds. We got producer Jacob trolling people here today because he's in a mood of some sort here, but you know what I'm talking about here. Jazz, you got Lauri Markkanen on a back-to-back. Something tells me he does not play here in this spot, which leads me to this. Utah opened favored. Colin Sexton, Simone Fontecchio? What are we? Those are like your premier guys going out here. Taylor Horton Tucker, THT. Not dynamite. Not. Even though Iowa State guy, I should love him, but I don't. I'm just looking at this Detroit side because you're going to have Killian Hayes questionable here. Duran continues to be out, and Isaiah Stewart has been upgraded to probable. But, my friends, in competitive spots, we're going to see Bojan numbers that I might want to tango with. I'm telling you, he just got done playing 39 minutes in a competitive spot against Atlanta. He's averaging 21.1 points per game. Is this the time that we run it back? We've only had 2 Bojan props on the card the entire year, which is weird because I think we had him 200 times last year at all of like how many games did he play? They shut him down at the end of the year. Those are sad times. We had that 18-2 run though, and I will never forget it for as long as I live. So here's what I'm put down on the card because you're going to have to hit me up on X or Twitter / whatever, at Eric Lindquist. Go follow me there. Bojan props to the moon, question mark? Bojan props to the moon, question mark? That's all I could really come up with here because I do think that at 22.5, I'm looking at an over. There aren't a lot of numbers that won't have me on Bojan here in this spot. So if you want to know where I land, if you want a Lindy's Locks update, hit me up over there or in the comment section below. You still love me, right? Yeah. What in the? I don't know what to tell you. Cleveland is playing now. New Orleans has Zion questionable. There's too much to handle here. I can't break this down. I refuse to break this down. It's my show. I do what I want. I might have a bet from here. I might not. I have no clue what to tell you here. We're not going to even know what to do here in the morning. So it doesn't matter when I record this. There's no way that I'm going to be able to tell you what to do. Donovan Mitchell probably going to be questionable. You're probably looking at Darius Garland out. You're probably looking at the Pelicans with this questionable situation. And now Herbert Jones questionable. What are we even going to do? I don't know. What in the language? I've been told language. I need to be careful of language. Fuck! What in the fuck? Oh, hey, all you cool cats and kittens. We got the San Antonio Spurs taking on the Chicago Bulls here in this spot, and I'm very calm and in control with everything that I do. Victor Wembanyama, he is going to be probable for this spot, so you should probably be firing him up in some capacity if he starts at the 5, although Zach Collins did like a remember me and like that whole thing, and the vulgarities that once upon a time. I like when Joel Embiid does it. It's pretty funny. Except for against my Timberwolves, it's less funny. But Victor Wembanyama, if he starts at the 5, you know what to do. It's called a rebound prop. You probably should be betting it in some capacity. But Chicago, they'll be on a back-to-back. Do we see anybody rest? I doubt it. Levine and Craig, those are the two guys who continue to be out. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to move Levine here in a million years, but I actually do have a play on this one because I do find the Spurs, even though Devin Vassell, I'm very mad at, 17 points through it was 6 minutes left in the third quarter. He plays nearly 9 more minutes of that game and scores 0 more points. Landed on 17. If you got the prize pick, Chicago 16.5, sweet, great. You had 17.5 in the betting market like me, you're unhappy. And if you bet 20.5, you're probably in shambles and probably never listening to me ever again. And that's okay. Although I am out here to make you money. That is the goal. I really don't care about anything else. I just want to make you money. I want to make myself money. Actually, I want to make myself money. That matters more to me. But if I make money, you make money. And that's what San Antonio Spurs plus 3.5. That's going to make us all money. Does that sound fun? I think that sounds fun. You know what also sounds fun? Promotions at Odd Shopper. Friends. Dabu Doris, Merry Christmas, come this way. Gift 33%. You want to go down with the sickness? Odd Shopper Premium, friends. Code GIFT. It's beautiful. It's lovely. Come on, carry on my wayward son. I'm gonna see how many music things I can. Oh, holy night. I'm like a broken AM radio, like back in the 60s. Do they still have AM radio? I don't know. But Odd Shopper Premium, it's actually technically 33.3% off. So we slashed everything across the board. $15 for a week, $50 for a month. Now, with this promotion, that becomes exponentially cheaper. We're talking $10, less than $10 to try out Odd Shopper Premium for a week. Tools, the premium Discord, everything you know and love here, all the analysts that you watch every single day on the Odd Shopper channel, myself included, hanging out in that premium Discord, and then again, fantasy optimizers for all of you who are playing prize picks and underdog every single day, grinding in those streets. I'm telling you, this is an unbelievable deal. So sign up at the link below. Use promo code GIFT, GIFT. Look at that. I can spell. If you can too, put that down into the video description box below for less than $10. You can check us out for a week. See if you like it. See if you love it. Come hang out. Would love to see you there. 33% off, promo code GIFT to get everything Odd Shopper Premium. Back to the picks we go. Did anybody else watch Ja Morant? Because Ja Morant comes out of the gate, has 3 points and an assist in the first quarter. You know what he ends up doing? He has a remember me spot. Doesn't even make a 3, but scores 34, 8, and 6. 8 assists, that is. So 34, 6, and 8, technically the way you're supposed to do it with the slash line. But 2 steals he adds into the mix. Did have those 5 turnovers, but friends, Ja Morant playing basketball and having game winners against the New Orleans Pelicans. It was beautiful to see. So happy to see him back. And hey, 35 minutes right from the get-go. I know there was that stupid quote that they had lingering out there. Oh, we're not going to play him crazy minutes. Shut up. We all knew he could play 36 right off the gate. It's just a question of if they needed him to. And I think that game just being competitive and exciting and seeing how Ja was playing in that second half especially, it was great. Oh, by the way, we're going to have potentially a crazy game here. 245.5 total in Memphis. Walking in Memphis. And now, 4.5 point favorites because that's what Ja Morant can do to your basketball team. Wild to see the finals odds pretty much identical considering the Pacers have an infinity game head start here on them. Now, it's not that the Pacers are good in terms of like win-loss to a crazy extent. They're 13-12. Probably going to go 13-13 by the end of this video. Is that kind of where we're on pace for? Nope, they're murdering Charlotte. Exact opposite. Going to go 14-12. I wasn't watching any of that game here tonight, but I will be watching this one because I will be on Memphis. There's no doubt about it. You get a guy to the level of Ja Morant playing 35 minutes right from the get-go, one of the top 12 players in terms of EPM last season in the 2022-23 season. Yeah, that changes the complexion of your basketball team. Getting Jaren Jackson Jr. out there and not having to be the alpha, that's a really good thing because then you can have him out there swinging at every block going down the pipeline. And Indy has the unfortunate fact of playing them on the back-to-back. Yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Memphis, -4.5. We continue on our merry way. The Orlando Magic taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, and they are getting just murdered. Absolutely murdered by Miami. I don't know what else to tell you. Tyler Hero, 28, 8-7. What is going on there? What is going on there this evening? I don't know what to tell you. Wow. Anyway, now they're 8-point dogs going into Milwaukee, so get on your jet and fly to Milwaukee. And this seems... Now, there are a lot of ways where you can look at back-to-back data, and it does make sense where it's like, hey, you just played a professional basketball game on hardwood. Your best players playing 30, 35-ish minutes in most every single scenario. And then you have to get in a jet and fly and then go athletically work out yet again. But they're used to this. They are used to this. And it's not like 3 and 4. 3 and 4 is a completely different conversation because that is something that I do pay attention to here in the shadows, lurking. Don't always bring it up because, again, they're factored into the numbers. And it's not like books can't look at the schedule and say, oh, that's what I think too. But there are times that you can jump on a number that might be a little bit wonky or react to an injury situation and be ahead of the game. I don't think this is one of those situations. I think 8 kind of factors in everything that I just talked about. Like, one of my least favorite things when I go on Twitter or X or when you start breaking down anything, and one of the reasons I think I've had a lot of success in MLB is because you don't get bought into anything where it's like, oh, this team is hot, this team is cold, this team is yes, this team is no. You don't get bought into, oh, they've done this in their last 5 and not look at the underlying circumstances of why are the minutes different? Why is the usage different? Is somebody out? Was the rotation the same? There's so many small variables. And when you're talking projections, when you're talking trying to figure it out yourself, it's really, really hard. And that's why we talk about a market-based approach being the best way, because the books, why not just compare them all together and figure out where the disparities are? Now, you want to be early to the party if you can in spots like this if you think 8 is too large or too short of a number. I tend to think that this is just about right. This is like the little bear. You know, you have the mama bear, the papa bear. Oh, this is too high. This is too cold. Oh, this is just right. That's kind of what we're looking at here. But I just thought I'd kill some time and throw some tutelage out there. So what do we look at in terms of props when they don't exist yet? What do we look at in terms of what we think can be potential here in this spot? Now, Markelle Fultz, when is he coming back? Because it sounds like he was close, and then all of a sudden he's not close, but now he might be close, but then he's not close, and I don't think he's going to be playing basketball here again. So you're looking at another healthy dose of Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs. They aren't exactly the most defensive forward individuals on this earth, that is for sure. And Orlando, while they have an adjusted defensive rating that is way up there, 3rd in the NBA, 111.5 points per 100 possessions adjusted for strength of schedule. That's, again, you want to adjust for the teams that you've played. Some teams have played easier teams. Some teams have played harder teams. Who values those teams? Well, analytics, things that are smarter than us. So, kind of does a lot of the work for me. Well, those two are the weak links. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Why don't you think they aren't going to put them in the pick and roll? It's going to be Damian Lillard and Giannis. And you know what? We did see Dame play a little bit of alpha dog for the first time in a long time alongside Giannis. 40 spot, 39 spot, last 2. Looking pretty good. I wonder what his 30+ in the single game parlay section is. In fact, -325, I think is actually like quote unquote value for a money line. So maybe we attach Dame 30+ to the money line for Milwaukee and move along with our lives. Because I have their implied win percentage a little bit higher than this. So it's like around the -350 range. But that's not enough to say, oh, this is something I'm thinking about. But lots that could be determined here. Milwaukee looks like they're going to have everybody out there. And Orlando, you might get a piece resting or two. And that opening number, I think, assumes everybody being in outside of course, Fultz, who's just never going to be in again, it seems. Damian Lillard, 30+. They should just have no answer to stop him. The guy, he's finally, it's like Breaking Bad. Someone cooked here. 3 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. As we talk, the Clippers and OKC, and the Clippers are playing basketball currently without PG-13 out on the floor. So What does that mean? Well, I don't think it means a whole hell of a lot here in this spot because I think he's going to play. I think he was going to play one of the two. Now, does Kawhi end up sitting here? I don't know. Hasn't missed anything yet. It's coming. You got Russ. You got James Harden. James Harden cooking. This could be a Russell Westbrook. Just go try to win us a game in your old stomping grounds. Not that they weren't the old stomping grounds for James Harden. I'm sure he has his jersey in the rafters at a strip club there too, like he does in Houston. Google it. Fun stuff. But as I look at the board here, nothing to really mine out with no numbers in existence. Think this might be one. We have been betting Oklahoma City a lot. Like a lot. And overall, like that, like seeing the finals odds, 40-1. Sam Presti, GM of Oklahoma City. You done work, son. And they still have like 48,972 first rounders coming down the punt line. Give or take a few. I think it's close to that, though. Anywho, as I look at the board for tomorrow, come on. This could definitely be a fire up the Clippers early kind of spot here and hope somehow, some way everybody plays basketball. It's hard to really theorize that, though. I'm just going to say LAC lean. If you want to know if I do anything, one, the premium Discord is less than $10 to get into right now using promo code GIFT. So sign up for that down below. And two, I answer just about everybody's questions over on Twitter/X at Eric Lindquist. You ask me questions, I give you answers. That's how this works. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, personal stuff, life stuff, everything. If I don't get to you right away, forgive me. But if you get to me in the morning or afternoon tomorrow, when these numbers open, there's 100% chance that I respond to you because I love you. I want to win money with you, and I want to be helpful. I want to have utility. I need meaning and purpose. And you know what my purpose is? To freaking win money. Yay. Speaking of making money, head over to BetMGM now, friends. Sign up at the link below. Get yourself up to $1,500 in bonus bets. Plus, even better than promo code GIFT, 2 months of OddsShopper tools plus Discord access completely free. All the tools I talked about there for OddsShopper, the Discord access to be able to ask me any question your heart's desires. You fire it up, I will answer it, and, well, it's completely free when you check out BetMGM at the link below. Now, you might have your DraftKings, your FanDuel, your Caesars, your Bet365. Those are great spots. I don't really care which books you have access to. I just want you to get the best lines every single day, and that requires more than one book. It just does. Every profitable sports bettor that I know does it, so why don't you do it too? Sign up at BetMGM at the link below. Get yourself 2 months of OddsShopper tools plus Discord access in the process. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. Oh, my Minnesota Timberwolves got completely Joel Embiid. Oh my God. Look at this stat line. 48, 12, and 3. 48, 12, and 3. I saw some well-known people recommending Embiid unders. I can happily say, well, I might have got it roped into one or two. But what I'm saying is that, yeah, Joel Embiid's on another planet right now. The guy is, I don't think I have seen a center play this well, and that includes Nikola Jokic. Like, over the course of this 2-week stretch that I've watched Embiid, he hasn't played like over 30, 31 minutes because they've had so many uncompetitive games because of how freaking good he's been. I think coming off of last year where everybody like me said, oh, Jokic probably deserved the MVP. And if Jokic hadn't won 2 MVPs previous to it, you wouldn't have given it to Embiid. No. If I gave out an MVP right now at this point of the season, it is Embiid going away by a mile. He has been incredible. So I don't read much into that. How about my Timberwolves at 22-1? This is just donkey shit. Like, how are the Lakers 17-1? And I'm a person who bet them to get to the finals last season. Ended up hedging out with Denver, even though Denver was the favorites, and it is what it is. Just bet individual games, hedge out of some of your stuff if you need to. Or it was like me where I'm like, Anthony Davis can't do anything to slow down Joker, and it was a disaster. And D'Angelo Russell can't play minutes in those spots. Schroeder looked good with the Lakers. It's looked less good the last couple weeks, but Toronto, still a good piece to have for them. Anywho, let's talk this one. Lakers, Minnesota, both teams in action here tonight. I do think when this number jumps out, don't you think somebody between Anthony Davis, who is made of glass, and LeBron James, who is infinity years old in his 21st season in the NBA, somebody might rest? I think it's more likely it comes from the Lakers side than the Minnesota side, although Anthony Edwards I will be on high alert for. So this is just a shot in the dark. Don't take it as gospel. But if something is inside of minus 175 here on the Minnesota side, if you're playing this game in neutral, like just everybody in, that's kind of where anything inside of that number, minus 175, I would be firing on Minnesota immediately. I'm worried that we see Minnesota open around 5.5, 6.5 in that ballpark. And again, they're offering finals odds reflective of what the public is doing to some of these numbers. I have to say this again. The Lakers are a publicly backed team. Minnesota, if we talk about home court being 3, I'm still of the mind that Minnesota is going to get an extra 3 by the books here because of how much better they are. So I'm guessing this opens in that range, just assuming everybody in. That is a stay away at that kind of a number. But if we can get something on the money line inside of it, might make it a parlay piece. Taking a look. It's in our book. Reading a rainbow, reading rainbow. Anyway, I need to get out of here. Minnesota money line, just a lean. We'll see tomorrow. Last game of the night. Let's get to it. Eric, you have no locks yet. Oh, you want a lock? I will show you a lock. The Washington Wizards, the Portland Trailblazers, they're not playing basketball on Wednesday, and as such, it's the only game on the board as I record this at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time that has props available. Do you know how wild that is? Welcome to my job where you're just kind of like, baseball is amazing. Baseball is so easy. It's rhythmical. You don't get locked into anything because, well, you've had the numbers out forever and things stabilize. And over time, I'm going to win more than I'm not. And in basketball, there are moving parts that can change things exponentially from night to earlier. You still want to try to bet some of these lines early, but other times you might be better off waiting a long time and just trying to hammer unders on game totals, unders on player props, let the public do their bidding, take overs on everybody for God knows what reason, and then just win money that way. You know what? Let's talk a little bit of unders here because this is actually a fun one for me. Portland, they're terrible. They're no good, but they're starting to get healthier. And offensively is really where they have issues. 109.7 adjusted offensive rating. That is 29th. Not good when there are 30 teams in the NBA. However, adjusted defensive rating, they're a little bit more neutral, sitting up at 22nd. So, like, again, still in the back half of the pack, but what did you expect? But my big thing here is that Portland's pace is not nearly what you might expect for a team with Simons, with Brogdon, with some of these guys that have played on teams where you'd be seeing 240 totals quite routinely. And let me say, I kind of like this under if it weren't for just Washington playing at ludicrous speed is what Spaceballs used to call it. 104 possessions per 48 minutes is second in the association, and it is barely behind the Pacers. So that is what worries me a little bit, even though that might be like a half unit like play here when it comes down to it. But you know what doesn't change game to game as opposed to the numbers? What the player production is kind of what you're expecting here from the Washington side of things, as far as like what the usage is going to be, what the assist rate is going to be, what the rebound rate is going to be. It's simply that the possessions come down a level. Does that make sense? Good. Are we still following? That's awesome. Kyle Kuzma. He's been having a routine 35.5, 36.5 point PRA in some of these spots. My big thing is that playing alongside a Daniel Gafford, a true 5, kind of limits what that ceiling can be from a rebound perspective. And then from an assist perspective, Tyus Jones is starting to take over the same way that we were expecting him to at the beginning of the season and helping to create more assists. So he's had 11, and 9 assists his last 3, while averaging just 5.5 here on the season. Something has to give. Have circumstances changed? Are they trying a different philosophy, considering this team's won 4 freaking games all season long? They are legitimately 4-22. San Antonio 4-22. We make fun of Pistons for being 2-25 all the time, and rightfully so, but they're only 2 games ahead of these frickers. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is wild stuff. So when you start shopping around PRA that combines, well, Gafford's healthy and playing more minutes, and Tyus Jones is starting to take on more of an assist rate, what naturally makes sense? What can we do with Kyle Kuzma and what's happening there? Because I think there's been a couple of unsustainable numbers here over the course of the season. First off, shooting around 47% from the field. I think that's actually something that can stay 36.3% 36.3% three-point percentage. But the usage is going to come down as they start having Bilal Coulibaly, Corey Kispert, Danilo Gallinari. They are just going through some of these rotation guys, and it is perfectly efficient to a certain extent, but I don't think it's being properly matched in for this specific matchup. And the last part of that is Shaedon Sharpe, who's very offensively forward, not so good on the defensive end, really good at dunking when healthy. He will be out for this game. So that's going to bring a lot of minutes of Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton, and Scoot Henderson, who is only defensive forward right now, one of the worst offensive players in his rookie season thus far, onto the floor more. Why do we have the identical Kyle Kuzma prop at 35.5 PRA? I don't know. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, but I'm at 32. Now, this isn't a smash it, knock it out of the ballpark. Not going to give you the Devin Vassell pitch like I did before, even though, again, I repeat, he had 17 points with 6 minutes left in the third quarter and somehow didn't score one more the entire game, and I am still in shambles over watching that 9 minutes and him missing 4 threes. We're going to hammer this one, friends. Kyle Kuzma, under 35.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. I see no injuries on the forefront here. I think this is a bad opening number, and I would be surprised if it didn't drop before lock. Can he go over it? Sure. But again, this is about value, and this is as valuable at minus 110 as you are going to run into on any under the night before injury news, before unexpected stuff can happen. Very confident in this play. I hope you like it. Merry frickin' Christmas. See you on Thursday. Or Friday, technically. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. So you know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board here for this lovely slate that we have before us on Thursday. 8 games. We're going to have an NFL going. I'm going to have an article for that up on OddsShopper. We're going to be talking in the premium Discord. We're going to be starting up a new channel over there. Ooh, it's going to be really, really fun talking through with all of the insiders in one easy-to-find place day in, day out. Looking forward to that, hanging out with my dudes, that is for sure. And my ladies, of course. All my ladies in the club say, hey, 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 hey. Thank you to producer Jacob. Let's get ourselves the heck up out of here. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Thursday.